In early 2007, Hansen Yuncken won the tender for the early works component of the Mona project. This began a 4-year journey involving many unique and complex construction challenges. With a construction cost nearing $75 million, it would become the largest privately owned museum in Australia.
There was a lot of dreaming and planning and scheming that went in at the early stages of this project, but in the end we had to sort of draw a line and say, well now it's time to actually start building. We shortlisted down to 3 and interviewed 3 builders, and Hansen Yuncken were the ones that impressed us the most with not just their ability, but the people that they were going to put on the job and their culture and how they proposed to handle it. We got a good feeling in that regard, and I guess that good feeling was backed up with their local experience. They've been here in Tasmania for a long time, and they seem to be a pretty good team, and it's turned out to be the case.
This project is a career one-off for myself and for my team, and there's an immense feeling of satisfaction to have been involved. It's a very complex project. It's very challenging as far as a construction project, not only in its contractual methodology, but also in the construction techniques and the finishes and fit-out that's required to achieve such an amazing building.
Hansen Yuncken encountered many challenges at the site, including underpinning heritage-listed buildings, major excavation in rock, and management of vibration and geotechnical issues. Rock hardness varied right across the site, and this dictated the rate and sequence in which works could progress.
None of us had actually constructed a building underground. Trying to determine how we're going to core underneath the existing building and support the existing building was quite a challenge. Seeing how Hansen Yuncken had dealt with that, one of the most complex aspects of the project, was a very positive sign as to how the future building was going to unfold.
Finally, after 9 months of excavation and underpinning, construction of the building proper could commence.
The scale and complexity of the Mona project in the context of the local industry presented a number of challenges that needed careful consideration, especially in terms of resource management, resource availability and also expertise. Development and implementation of a strategic procurement plan became critical from the outset. Our experience within the local industry, combined with our ability to draw on a national knowledge base, enabled Hansen Yuncken to procure a skilled and cost-competitive contractor team that we were confident could meet the demands of the project.
Hansen Yuncken brought in a great team of subcontractors, pulled them all together and managed them really well. We were very impressed with the way they worked.
During the entire construction phase, the design of the building evolved continually, always driven by a strong desire to create a unique museum experience.
One of the big challenges and quite unique things about this project is the flexibility that we wanted to retain with the design right the way through the project. It wasn't just the architects being architects saying, we can't make up our minds yet, although a little bit was that. It was also very important for the client, for David, to be able to walk around, see how things were coming together and then decide, well actually, maybe this should be a bit different.
As the design evolved throughout the project, it became very difficult to maintain continuity of work at the workface, but through good communication with the client and design teams, through detailed programming and through a very disciplined approach to implementing company systems and procedures, we were able to progress the job and ultimately deliver a very complex project to a very high standard of finish.
The building's complex structure geometry, high cast-in services content and low repetition meant that maintaining continuity at the workface was a constant challenge. The collaborative way that Hansen Yuncken worked with the design and construction team to overcome these challenges is one of the real triumphs of the project.
Nobody had ever done a waffle slab like this before. I think it's a first for everybody here, including the consultants. I've been in the game a long time and I've never done a job like that. When you see them, you'll understand that none of them are level. They're all cantilevered. It's an unusual design, to say the least, but very satisfying.
We found Hansen Yuncken worked really well with that. There was a lot of complex geometry that had to be resolved in 3 dimensions, and just a great result.
The installation of the footbridge under the existing heritage-listed building required an innovative installation methodology. The bridge consisted of a 21-metre beam weighing 7.5 tonnes. Its position meant that conventional crane lifting was not an option. Working closely with subcontractors, Hansen Yuncken placed a train track system under the existing building. A support frame was built and craned onto the tracks. The beam was craned onto the support frame, then pulled along the tunnel using hydraulic jacks. Once the bridge was in place, the tracks were dismantled. It took 2 years of precision planning and staging to fabricate and install the highly complex Escher-like feature stair. This included the construction of temporary access roads, temporary openings within the facade and roof, and localised increased concrete strengthening. Temporary support structures and a gantry crane were also designed for this feature.
Apart from the highly visual architectural features that created challenges for the delivery team, one of the other major aspects of the project was the extensive services installations, which were also very complex and involved a considerable amount of construction planning and coordination, both between ourselves and the design team, and also involving our subcontractors.
The building had to be architecturally striking, flexible and future-proof in terms of services design.
There was an element of having to provide a product, but there was a massive unknown, which was what's this building going to be doing over the next 20, 30, 40, 100 years.
Services design also needed to ensure high levels of redundancy and backup, and effective technical integration between services systems was a critical feature.
When you're dealing with an architectural structure that has such limited opportunities for cavities and usual pathways for services, it becomes a real challenge. It did present a lot of issues. We had to utilise the structure within the structure to carry a lot of the services reticulation. The air as well is all carried through invisibly, so there was a lot of integration happening the whole way through the project.
The gallery spaces created are highly flexible in order to accommodate exhibitions in whatever form and layout may be required. Committed to building value for the client, Hansen Yuncken worked closely with Mona, providing construction advice to assist with installation planning and execution.
The key to this project has been the ability of those people involved to work as a team, to work through the issues and the problems successfully. We have a world-class facility here housing a world-class collection. And the result that we've achieved as a team, that is the builders and all the consultants, has made David a very happy person.
Mona is a truly iconic building for both Tasmania and Australia. This subversive adult Disneyland not only showcases a world-class art collection, but also shows just what can be achieved with the skills and capabilities of the local industry.
Look, I don't speak for myself here. I'm certain I speak for everybody that's been involved in the project. The builders, the engineers and our consultants all talk about this as a once-in-a-lifetime project.
I've travelled overseas and seen the superstar architects work, and you actually go and look at the construction after seeing it in magazines, and you look at this project and you go, this is unreal. So I mean, it's credit to everyone.
Even for all the time that I personally spent on site during the construction process, I still enjoy coming back and visiting the museum. I still see things that I haven't seen previously.
It's a very rare occasion that you get to be involved in a job that is about more than just providing a container for a particular function, and a project that has the ability to, I guess, mean a bit more than just the spaces that it provides has been a great thing to work on.
It was almost a surreal experience to go through and see it being used in the manner which it's intended. Fantastic experience.
Just the building itself I'm most proud of. If I retired tomorrow, I'd be more than happy to hang my hat on this building. I'm not going to retire tomorrow though.